What's he eating?
I don't know, but it looks like a stick of butter. That can't be healthy. We need to do something about this. Hey man, you're eating butter. That's a interesting choice. What else you got in the box?
Only butter. What's it to you?
You know that's gonna kill you. You're gonna get heart palpitations.
You don't know what you're talking about. Look at you. You look stupid.
That is an ad hominem fallacy. You're taking a detour from your main argument to attack me personally instead of responding to the claim I've made. You should really stick to strengthening your argument with concrete evidence instead.
Shut up.
You really should stop eating so much butter. That's not good for you.
Oh, so you want me to starve? Is that what you're saying? You want me to starve and die?
I ain't say that.
That is a straw man fallacy. He changed your words to make your argument easier to attack. You are misrepresenting his argument and twisting it to make it fit what you were trying to say.
Please, tell me, how could not eating sticks of butter possibly lead to starvation?
Well, if I stop eating food, I'll starve. Can we agree on that? And butter is food, so if I stop eating butter, I'll starve.
That is an invalid deduction fallacy. What you were saying is that if A is B and C is A, then C is also B.
Yeah, that's like saying if Crocs are shoes and Nikes are shoes, then Nikes are Crocs.
Your conclusion is not matching up with your reasoning. Butter being a food does not mean you will starve, and limiting your consumption of butter doesn't mean you will starve either.
All right, well, picture this. If I stop eating butter, which gives you chills just thinking about it, here's what'll happen. I'll open my fridge and see the butter inside, but I won't eat it. And because I'm not eating butter, I'll get really hungry. Then one day, I'll be walking down the street, and I'll collapse from hunger and fall into a roadside ditch and starve. Does that conclusion match up with my reasoning?
That's a massive slippery slope. Even I know that. You're drawing a wild conclusion from a small thing, and that conclusion wouldn't have been valid before the fallacy. You're basically tricking people into agreeing with the argument since the individual steps seem legit.
It was also a conflation fallacy. You're conflating food and butter to mean the same thing and using them interchangeably. You could be intentionally doing that to distract us from the weaker parts of your argument. Even if you aren't, it contributes to an argument that loses clarity and is harder to understand.
Could you shut up about logical fallacies? Nobody asked you. I didn't even ask you to criticize my butter, all right? You just came over here. What have I done to you? And before you say anything, let me tell you a little story, all right? You're not the first people to tell me to stop eating butter. I had an uncle once, a crazy uncle. He told me the same thing you're telling me now. He said, "Butter eater, you're gonna die if you keep eating that butter. You're a fool, a buttery fool." So I stopped eating butter. But soon after, I fell terribly ill. I almost died. They rushed me to the hospital, had me on life support for 5 weeks. So you still want me to stop eating butter? Even knowing that last time I stopped, it nearly killed me?
Maybe it was a disease?
And the butter was holding it back. This butter keeps me alive, keeps my entire being held together like glue. And you want to take that away from me?
That is post hoc ergo propter hoc.
Excuse me?
You are confusing correlation and causation, another logical fallacy. Just because you fell ill after you ditched the butter doesn't mean the illness was caused by the lack of your creamy stick of salty dairy. You are assuming a conclusion just because of the order of events, not because of any solid evidence.
All right, smart guy. So why'd I get sick then?
Give me the butter.
No, stay away from my butter!
You eat the whole stick of butter, that's 88 grams of fat. And most of that is saturated fat. And there's no protein or vitamins in this. You're not getting anything out of it. That's why you fell sick, because you're not eating any real food.
Sweeping generalization fallacy. You're using that evidence to assume that all butter is bad for you, leaving no room for any exceptions. You're deriving your conclusion from ignoring that any exceptions exist. Who's logically flawed now? This isn't just any butter, all right? This is good butter. I can live off this butter, and I have been ever since I fell into that ditch.
Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. How long are you going to keep this up? Until you fall into another ditch? And how many more ditches are there to fall into before you don't come back?
And what other choice do I have? This butter is all I know. It's all I have. Either I eat this butter or I starve. What kind of a choice is that?
False dichotomy fallacy. You're making it seem as if there are only two options and ignoring all others, which weakens your argument because you're oversimplifying the situation and ignoring nuance, allowing an opponent to dismantle your argument by pointing out a third option, and that option is to not only eat butter.
Not only butter. I understand it now.